President Bola Tinubu welcomes the news of the release of the Kuriga school children in Kaduna State and emphasizes the importance of collaboration between the federal government and states for expected outcomes, especially on matters of security. The President, in a statement, commends the National Security Advisor, security agencies and the Kaduna State government for the dispatch and diligence with which they handled this situation, noting that urgency, meticulous attention and tireless dedication are critical to optimal outcome in cases of mass abductions. President Tinubu also welcomes the release of pupils of a Sangaya school in Sokoto State, commending all the parties to the feat for their valiant efforts. The President assures Nigerians that his administration is deploying detailed strategies to ensure that our schools remain safe sanctuaries of learning, not places for wanton abductions. And joining us live is Umar Ajenge in Kaduna, who will give us an update on the children. Umar, thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Good afternoon, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me here.
Thank you. So what's the latest concerning the children?
Well, Elizabeth, it is a cheering news indeed. Since yesterday, the people of Kaduna State, the Kaduna State government, as well as the parents of these victims, are very, very excited. They were happy with the effort of the security agencies, the state government, as well as the president. I wish you are in Kaduna to see how excited the parents were. I was opportune yesterday to meet one of the father who his daughter was among the released students of Kuriga. You could see how excited he was. They were all here at the government house yesterday waiting for them to be reunited with their children. But suddenly the state government decided to take them to a medical facility for a thorough medical checkup, for them to be mentally and physically fit, for them to be in the public because of some of the trauma, their condition, and of course their experience. You know, they've been with these bandits for more than 2 weeks now. As it is, any moment from now, I'm right here at the government house. Behind me, you can see the door to the chamber. There are some stakeholders there in the chamber, the pressmen, the journalists. We are all waiting for the arrival of these children that the military yesterday have promised to hand them over to the Kaduna State government this afternoon. This is what we're waiting for.
On the medical checks, when will medical checkup begin for the children? Omar, can you hear me? Omar, can you hear me?
Question?
All right,
I can hear you now. Can you please repeat your question?
When will medical checks begin?
Well, you know, these are students have been in bandits then for more than 2 weeks now. So you could imagine, Elizabeth, and these are small children. You could imagine the trauma, and probably some of them might be needing some medical treatment, emergency medical treatment for that matter. These children might have been in the bush or forest for all these days. So you can imagine. That is why the state government decided that they should take very good, proper care of them to ascertain their fit mentally and physically before they will suddenly reunite them with their parents, their families. Well, you know, as parents, they are very anxious to receive these kids, but then it is very important for them to be fit before they will see these children, so that the joy they have in their mind, they can really have that time to celebrate it so very well. So we're waiting for that moment where the children will arrive. Where I'm standing here is where they were passed, because right inside is the council chamber where the governor is going to receive them. It was earlier slated for 1 p.m. and it is just some few minutes after 12 noon. So any moment from now, we're expecting these children to be here and to be further reunited with their parents. It is indeed a cheering news. Everybody here is happy. Even among us, the journalists who have been following the trend of events since this unfortunate incident, we're happy that the children are now back, and everybody is commending the security agencies, the state government, and of course, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this great success.
Omar, I want to thank you for your time, and we hope to get more updates from you subsequently. Thank you for your time.
By God's grace, we'll keep you updated as soon as they arrive here. Thank you.
Moving on, federal government says it is deploying new technologies to support the security, to help security agencies overcome security threats challenging the peace and stability of the country. Minister of Defense Mohammed Badr Abubakar disclosed this during an operational visit to 3 military formations in Kano State.
The visit is part of the minister's nationwide tour of military formations for familiarization and assessment of facilities to ensure effective security management. Addressing officers and soldiers, the minister salutes the efforts of the military and encouraged them to do more in securing the country. He sympathized with them on the killings of some personnel in Delta State, assuring that the federal government is doing everything possible to unmask those behind the killings.
To find out what are the issues, what are the challenges, and see how best we can deal with the situation. We are deploying serious technology to make sure that we support our armed forces. Continue to be vigilant, to continue to be proactive, to continue to block areas for possible infiltration of bandits and terrorists. And that is what they have been doing. We will charge them to do more.
He further assured them of President Tinubu's commitment to improving their welfare.
1,000 underage orphans from the 17 local government areas of Yobe State have been supported with 50,000 naira each as an initiative of the state government aimed at giving orphans a sense of belonging, especially during festivities. The governor of the state, Maimala Boni, says the state government places high premium on the welfare of orphans for their lives to be normal and dignified. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
It appears that providing support in cash and in kind to orphans and most vulnerable persons by Yobe State government has become a recurring decimal in recent years, as evident in this presentation of 50,000 naira performed by Governor Buni to 1,000 orphans from the 70 local government areas of the state. The gesture, the governor explains that it promotes mutual respect, love, and above all attracts Allah's pleasure in the society.
It is important to note that this administration is very sensitive to the welfare of orphans in the state, for them to live a normal and dignified life. Many orphans are today beneficiaries of government programs with a special care given to them to pursue education at all levels. This spirit of giving should be encouraged to go beyond the month of Ramadan.
Special advisor to the governor on religious affairs, Ustaz Babagana Malam Kyari, who coordinated the intervention sites from 2022 to date, about 3,000 orphans, widows, Sangaya school teachers, as well as people living with disabilities have been supported with cash and other incentives in order to live a normal and dignified life. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA2.
It's time to talk sports, and Hamad Zango will be our guide.
In the Nigerian Premier Football League, Rangers International secured a crucial away win in Aba to go top of the log in the ongoing 2023-2024 Nigeria Premier Football League season. The Flying Antelopes achieved victory in the Oriented Derby after beating Heartland FC 2-1 in a match day 27 encounter to extend their unbeaten run to 9 matches. Rangers leapfrogged Lobby Stars to the first position with 47 points, 1 point behind the Pride of Benue, as they went 5 games unbeaten away from home. Struggling Aqua United were the biggest winners of the match, week after defeating Plateau United 2-1 in Jos. In Lafia, Bayelsa United held Lobby Stars to a 1-1 draw, while Katsina United were 2-1 victorious over Abia Warriors. Kwara United got the better of Eimba FC 2-1 in Ilorin, while Remo Stars beat Bendel Insurance 2-0. Meanwhile, Minister of Sport Development Senator Jen Eno says Nigeria will work out a sustainable package of incentives that will continue to put the welfare condition of sportsmen and women at the forefront. He stated this while welcoming the Nigerian contingent who fiercely contested for honors in 29 sporting activities at the 13th African Games in Ghana. The 13th African Games in Ghana has come to an end as Egypt emerged winners of the event with 187 medals, 99 gold, 46 silver and 42 bronze. Nigeria finished in second position with 47 gold, 33 silver and 41 bronze to claim a total of 121 medals. South Africa occupied the third spot with 106 medals, 32 gold, 32 silver and 42 bronze. As Algeria ranked the fourth best country at the event in Ghana with 114 medals, 29 gold, 38 silver and 47 bronze. Tunisia completed the top four with 86 medals, 21 gold, 26 silver and 39 bronze, while Ghana, despite a poor start to the event, finished in sixth position with 19 gold, 29 silver and 20 bronze medals. With sport update, I'm Zongo, NTA News.
You're watching Panorama on NTA. Let's take a break now, but when we return, our sports correspondent will be up to analyze the 2023 African Games. Stay with us.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experienced it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thanks for staying with us. Still talking sports, about 5,000 athletes from 52 nations competed in the 2023 African Games just concluded in Ghana, formerly called the All Africa Games. The three-week event, which doubled as qualifier for the 2024 Paris Olympics, featured competitions in 30 disciplines. Egypt topped the medal ranking table with a total of 189 medals. Nigeria came second with 121 medals, 47 gold, 33 silver and 41 bronze. And our sports correspondent Ayodeji Makinde joins us now to analyze Nigeria's performance at the Games. Ayo, it's so nice to have you join us on Panorama.
Thanks, Lizzie. Anytime.
All right, the Biennial Games have come and gone. Can you assess Nigeria's performance?
Well, if you take a look at the final medal table, it's a reflection of how strategic Team Nigeria prepared for the championship and went into it. But you look at the class, the golfing class between Egypt finishing with 99 gold and Nigeria finishing with 47. You want to raise some eyebrows there and say, after how many years Nigeria should be rubbing shoulders with Egypt. But again, if you consider the strategy of going into those sports that we have strategic advantage, and then you would want to see reason with the Ministry of Sports Development to go with those particular athletes that can win gold and not go for a jamboree. So far, so good. It's been a good championship for Team Nigeria. We've gotten more athletes to qualify into the Paris Olympic Games, and of course, we've started raising the next generation of athletes that can replace the older ones.
So it means we can rank that a good outing. Does that mean we can rank that a good outing for Nigeria?
Oh, yes, surely, because right at the championship, just when Team Nigerian wrestlers won gold medals, they went also into the Africa Wrestling Championship in Alexandria and got more of their athletes, wrestlers, to qualify for the Olympics. So it's been a good outing for Team Nigeria so far, but we can surely do better than always finishing second to either Egypt or South Africa. Remember, the last time Nigeria won overall the African Games was when we hosted in 2003.
All right, Aya, let's look at the organization of the Games. Was there deployment of technology? If there was, how did this influence integrity of results?
Well, for many years, there's been this call to get many African countries to really invest in sports facilities and development. Lately, it's all been about Morocco. You see football events, handball events, Morocco and Egypt and South Africa. Now, Ghana seized the opportunity to host the African Games by investing well over $150 million into facilities development. Now, what they're trying to do is to make Ghana the hub for international sports training and international sports development in West Africa and perhaps Africa because of the climate in Ghana. Now, this also would help the domestic, in terms of internal IGR for Ghana, and of course Accra that really hosted the Games. You also look at what that will have for budding talents in Ghana. And of course, we all saw it online, we saw it on YouTube and also different media streaming platforms. So the Games really exposed Ghana. Well, some people in Ghana have reservations that at a time where we're looking at global economic challenges and economic realities, inflation, that it wasn't wise for the Ghanaian government to invest such a huge amount of money into the African Games.
Okay, Aya, let me quickly comment there.
Surely, it is really worth it.
Okay. We understand that Nigeria did not participate in some games, but going forward, how can the Nigerian sports sector improve on this to have more medals at the Games?
It's all down to investment. It's all down to grassroots sports development, and of course, we really need to play the politics at the highest level. I mean, you take a look at the number of entries that Egypt had in the Games. There are so many sports that Ghana did not include. For instance, rowing, canoeing. That's a strength for Nigeria in Africa. Nigeria surely would have won more medals there. But unfortunately, if we do not invest adequately, we do not discover talent at the grassroots, and we don't play the politics of sports at the highest level on the continent, we'll always play second fiddle to Ghana and to Egypt and South Africa.
NTA's sports correspondent, Ayodeji Makinde, thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has made a strong case for increased efforts in parliamentary diplomacy. Speaking at the 148th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union held in Geneva, Switzerland, Akpabio maintained that parliamentary diplomacy is quite critical to achieving peace in the world and resolving conflicts, noting that though the Nigerian Parliament has explored the concept and achieved myriads of successes, more, he says, can still be done.
The Parliament must therefore remain the melting pot of every country's unity and peace. The Parliament must hold a significant responsibility in curbing polarization and ensuring peace and progress through legislations. We have done that a lot in Nigeria, but one remarkable legislative milestone that I would like to share with you is the Not Too Young to Run bill, which was passed in 2018.
Initiatives of the 10th National Assembly and its leadership, Akpabio says it has become imperative for the world to recognize the power of the collective voice in shaping a better future for all, as the world is in a critical juncture in history. A redefining moment and a paradigm shift in the business as usual syndrome in the art of politics is pulling weights in favor of the women folk, especially where emotional exploitation becomes the order of the day. In a book titled Politics, Sex and Power, authored by Adora Onyechere, comes a louder voice which appears to agitate for equality and a level playing ground for all genders. Political correspondent Abubakar Kwanga tells us more.
Evaluate our politics is an emergency, for without this, Nigeria's democracy is not only at stake.
A moderate volume book with a striking title is gradually bouncing back to the marketplace of politics with chapters and pages that exposed gender negativity. Gathered here are seasoned politicians and academic doyens, all harnessing views in changing the ugly narratives against women and projecting equality.
The idea to use the book to demystify the stereotypes that limited women was so essential. Going ahead, I also looked at the issue of true leadership and true politicking.
A woman is more likely to be reduced to her genitalia because she's female than a man is likely to be reduced to their genitalia just because they have dared to say, I want to run, I want to represent my people.
Let us harness the power of politics, not for personal gains or partisan interests, but for the betterment of our collective humanity.
If we are to survive as a nation, our elites need to learn that it is in their enlightened self-interest to forge a common consensus that develops the country, grows the economy, secures the people, and protects the rights and enforces the obligations.
Stakeholders see the book as a turning point for adjusting the timeline of politics and balancing the interests of both genders in the quest to conquer all contests in all future elections. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
To the 2024 Ramadan fast, it is usually a potpourri of activities in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, during the month of Ramadan, ranging from iftar, tafsir to other religious rites. In this report, Hamid Fulani takes a look at the routine of Muslims in the ancient city during the fasting period. His report is hereby presented.
Building of mud mosques by little children within the metropolis is an age-long practice that affords them the opportunity to observe their prayers separately from the adults and inculcate the habit of praying regularly. These little children do not stop at this. They make it a point of duty to move from house to house in the midnight to wake people up, especially women who have to prepare meals for sahur. This they do in an entertaining manner.
We want to make money to buy things for ourselves. We contribute money together, all of us. Last year, we get 22,000.
Some others decide to play street football under the street lights to entertain themselves. When the day breaks, spiritual activities such as reading of the Holy Quran by individuals and attending tafsir or other Islamic lectures characterize daily lives of fasting persons. Because of the high reward associated with Ramadan and due to the current economic challenges in the country, some well-to-do individuals finance cooking of iftar for the vulnerables and other less privileged people in their surroundings throughout the month of Ramadan.
A servant of Allah brought these food items to be cooking for people, irrespective of their religions.
And when it's time to break fast, with call to Maghrib prayer, the women who have been in the kitchen since 4 p.m. dish out food for members of their family. For Hajia Kafayat Abdurazak, a nurse with one of the state's hospitals, said she derives joy in preparing iftar and sahur for members of her family despite working daily as a health officer. The anticipation of reward from Allah is her motivation.
Sometimes it's always stressful for a woman during the month of Ramadan, but to God be the glory, we're able to manage ourselves in the house. It's a different thing cooking, and it's a different thing we were to worship. So it doesn't disturb each other because we have the support of our children to assist us in preparing the meal.
I always help her wash plates, clean the dishes, and also maybe do some work for her.
Families do not break fast alone. They do this with some members of the community as practiced and taught by Prophet Muhammad.
The most rewarding act in this month is to break fast together because it breeds love and we teach our children how to be magnanimous as well.
An Islamic scholar and a jurist with the State's Sharia Court of Appeal, Justice Adebayo Mashood, comments on this rewarding act of worship.
Where one is expected to show kindness to fellow beings, that is your brethren, and this is one of the areas that has been, the Prophet ﷺ has been described to be more of generous during the month of Ramadan, and he has encouraged the fasting Muslim to do same.
There is no gainsaying that the Islamic faithful residents in Ilorin are always looking forward to the month of Ramadan because of the numerous benefits embedded in the holy month.
Thank you, Ahmad, and may Allah receive our worship. That's Panorama this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.